Lucana, one of the most beautiful countries on the Mediterranean coast, and a small peaceful island, Astigos.
This morning, the Zagorius Federation, one of the Mediterranean coastal nations, launched a unilateral military offensive against Astigos Island, a territory of the nation of Lucana which has been seeking independence. Despite protests from various nations, the Zagorian forces continue their invasion of Astigos, and sources believe it is only a matter of time before the island is completely occupied.
VSSE has learned that the Zagorius army has deployed tactical missiles on Astigos Island that will be a threat not only to Lucana, but to the surrounding nations as well. Two of their best agents were sent in to remove this threat. Alan Dunaway, Wesley Lambert.
Jump! Hurry!
Alicia Winston.
Surprise, surprise.
Wild Dog.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Wild Fang.
And now, time to get rid of you both.
Giorgio Zott. Time Crisis 3.
Well, hello there everyone, I'm Tony, aka TTBurger 88, and it's time once again for more of my game reviews. Today we are continuing with my Time Crisis series review, and today I welcome you all to part 4. Last time, I took a look at Time Crisis 2 on the PlayStation 2, and gave it a 9 out of 10 due to the lighting and the graphics being dark at times, and there were times where the game felt a little too easy. Today for part 4, I will be looking at my favorite game in the Time Crisis series, Time Crisis 3. Once again done by Namco, released in 2002 in the arcades, and then 1 year later on the PlayStation 2. I should also point out that this game was released in North America on my birthday, October 21st, in 2003. And I will start off by saying that this was actually the third game I ever owned. I goofed it up in the last part. The thing is that first I owned Time Crisis Project Titan, and then I owned Time Crisis, then Time Crisis 3. But my copy of Time Crisis at the time didn't have the manual or the case, so I kinda didn't count it, but that's just me though. If you guys count it, then hey, that's fine, but that's fine with me as well. Now getting started here, I did play this game in the arcades and I enjoyed it a lot, so I was definitely looking forward to buying the PlayStation 2 version. And I have to say that I was really impressed by this. This game also came with a GunCon 2 controller, but it was the same GunCon 2 controller that Time Crisis 2 came with, so there's nothing to show you here that I haven't shown already. If you want more information on that, then go check out my Time Crisis 2 review. I will point out, however, that this game does not support the original GunCon controller, so you have to get the bundle if you don't own the GunCon 2. But you can also use the controller as well, so if you don't want to use the GunCon 2, then stuff like that, then you don't have to worry about it. But most of the copies back in the day came with the bundle, so you kinda really didn't have a choice. But now let's get started with talking about the game Time Crisis 3 itself. The story takes place in the year 2003, on the island called Astigos, the largest island in the Mediterranean nation of Lucana, and it's being invaded by special forces from the neighboring Zagorian Federation, led by Giorgio Zott, and have succeeded in conquering 80% of Astigos in a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, the surviving Lucana defenders organize themselves into the Lucana Liberation Force under Daniel Winston, who learned that the Zagorian Federation forces have set up a base in the abandoned Astigos State Observatory. Daniel and his lieutenant Jake Hernandez led a small group to destroy the Astigos State Observatory, but they were captured by Zagorian Federation troops who were waiting inside. 1 week later, Alicia Winston, Daniel's younger sister, began a solo mission to enter a Zagorian bunker and download intelligence data that led her to discover that the Zagorians have acquired tactical ballistic missiles, which they intend to use to eliminate the remaining Lucana Liberation forces and threaten the neighboring nation of Lucana as well. Alicia transmits the info she discovered to her contact at the VSSE, and in turn gets the VSSE to dispatch 2 of their agents whom we are introduced to in this game. They are Alan Dunaway and Wesley Lambert, whom are sent to destroy the missiles created by Giorgio Zott of the Zagorian Federation Force. But they must be careful though, because Wild Dog and his partner Wild Fang are in cahoots with Giorgio and the Zagorian Federation. And they must be careful because you know what kind of guy Wild Dog is. He's evil. While they do that, Alicia's on a mission of her own to rescue her brother Daniel and put an end to Giorgio's plan. Now I will say the story is very deep, probably the deepest story ever in the Time Crisis series, and it works out really well. Graphically, Time Crisis 3 has improved over Time Crisis 2. The character models look great and anime made better than they did in Time Crisis 2. The backgrounds also improved with better lighting effects, and this time they don't look so dark at times like how they did in the last game. What has mainly improved most about the graphics is the cutscenes. This time they use pre-rendered cutscenes instead of the in-game graphics they used in Time Crisis 2, and from my opinion, the cutscenes look fantastic and keep a solid frame rate throughout the entire game, and it amazed me at how much they improved here. And it's just, this is probably, in my opinion at the time, in 2003, one of the best looking games on the PS2s, but that's just me though. Sound-wise, Time Crisis 3 also shines. The voice acting is still a little hokey, but you can definitely tell there is some improvements here. Hell, I have to say that the best voice actor in Time Crisis 3 is Melissa Hutchinson, who voices Alicia, and I feel like she's perfect for the role.
My name is Alicia. I'm with the Lucano Liberation Army. And you two must be Alan and Wesley from the VSSE.
Are you working alone? You're out of your mind.
My brother, our men, were captured by the Zagorius army while carrying out a mission to destroy the tactical missiles.
I see. So they're using the hostages as bait to force the resistance to surrender, right?
Yes, but that will never happen.
And so you came all the way by yourself to rescue your brother.
The tactical missiles are hidden in the military facility located at the summit of this mountain. We'll need to use the railway on the far side of this town. It's been used for supply transportation, and it will be our only route to the facility.
We better split up! We'll meet at the station up ahead!
The train leaves at 1500! Don't be late!
The music is on par with the other games in the Time Crisis series, and this time most of the tracks used in this game are original. And while a few of them are remixed from the other games, it's not a problem at all, of course. It's a staple for the series, right? If remixes are done right, then it's fine for a game like this. Gameplay in Time Crisis 3 is definitely the best part of the whole game. Like I mentioned in my Time Crisis 2 review, the series went back to its roots of bringing the challenge factor back. And here the challenge factor is still at its best, but even better this time. Mainly because most of the parts in Time Crisis 2 that were way too easy have been fixed here, and the challenge factor here definitely reminds you of the challenge factor in the original Time Crisis. This time you have two storylines to choose from. You have the original arcade storyline where you play as Alan Dunaway and Wesley Lambert on a mission to destroy the missiles, and in this mode I'm playing as Alan because he's the player 1 character. This mode feels very similar to the arcade mode in the previous game, with some new enhancements and improvements. The main new improvement in Time Crisis 3 is the ability to use different weapons throughout the game. Aside from your handgun, you can choose from a machine gun, shotgun, and grenade gun. Unlike the handgun that has unlimited ammo, the other weapons have limited ammo, and you can get more ammo by shooting the enemies wearing yellow, or, to be exact, yellow and white. There is once again a total of 3 stages in this mode, and after that you can unlock some cool bonus features. The other storyline I will mention is the Rescue Mission, which is exclusive to the PlayStation 2 version. Here in the Rescue Mission, you play as Alicia Winston as she sets out on a mission to rescue her brother from being held hostage by the Zagorian Federation forces. This mode here has some differences from the arcade mode. I would start by saying that this mode was a little harder for me, so I had to tweak the number of lives you have at the start to help me, because I'm not very good at this mode. I'll admit now, I was pretty bad. But getting back on topic here, the differences between these two modes is, for your weapons, excluding your handgun, they can be upgraded and become more powerful after you defeat a certain number of enemies with a certain weapon you have selected. You can get more ammo from them as well when you have them upgraded. Your weapons can go up to level 5, and having the weapons maxed out can be even more of a blast than they are at the start. This mode has a total of 14 stages, and they are broken up into 4 areas like in the arcade mode. After you beat the stage, you go right on to the next one. Also, when you die, you have to start over at the beginning of the stage, which is the main reason why I said this mode was harder and why I suck at this mode. You can also use a sniper rifle in certain parts of the rescue mission to shoot down enemies, and using this for the first time in the Time Crisis series, I have to say it's a lot of fun. I just wish you could have used it more though, but that's just me. I have to say that the rescue mission is my favorite part of Time Crisis 3 because it's challenging, longer, and for the first time ever in the Time Crisis series, this is where you got to play as a female protagonist. Hell, I consider Alicia Winston as the main protagonist of Time Crisis 3 because her story becomes unlocked after beating arcade mode, and I feel like this is the true ending to Time Crisis 3 itself. Besides that though, there isn't much else to say about Time Crisis 3 that I haven't said already. Everything about this game was perfect, and it couldn't get any better than this. I'm happy the way this game turned out, and I had a lot of fun with it. And this is how you make an arcade on-rail shooter. With this much fun and a lot of content, I'm glad they did this, because this game couldn't get any better, and if they didn't, I'm sure this game would not have been so great, but that's just me though. So now for my final rating, it goes like this. Time Crisis 3 is definitely the best game in the series in my opinion, as well as being my favorite game in this series as well, due to how much content there is, and how much fun factor there is in this game as well. I give Time Crisis 3 a perfect 10 out of 10. Stay tuned for the grand finale where I'll be looking at the first Time Crisis game that was released on the PlayStation 3, and in my opinion, it's the last true Time Crisis game for the home consoles. That game is Time Crisis 4. This is Tony, aka TTBurger 8. Peace out, and have a great day everybody, and see you all in Part 5.
Good evening. It's time for the 10 o'clock news. First, an update on the Mediterranean crisis. It has been 3 months since the Zagorius Federation launched an invasion of Estigos Island, a territory of the neighboring nation of Lucano. Despite heavy resistance from the Lucano Liberation Force, the Zagorius army has already seized 80% of the island, and according to sources on Estigos, they are preparing to use this site as a strategic base to advance onto Lucano. The United Nations is currently reviewing the possibility of deploying a multinational military force. The complex political interests lying in this region have been hindering negotiations. Reports indicate that it will be a matter of time before the entire nation of Lucano would come under Zagorian control. In other breaking news, the Zagorian army has announced today that they have captured the Lucano Liberation Forces leader, Daniel Winston, and second-in-command, Jake Hernandez, along with several Lucano soldiers, and have called for a negotiation with the Lucano Liberation Force to return the prisoners in exchange for their surrender.
What's going on?
We have an intruder!
The Lucano troops?